Okay, this is a guide to the intranet in relation to the new bonus rolling sales efficiency scheme. And as you know, we're now paying incentives based on your rolling sales efficiency. So when you log on, you'll be able to see your commission there. We've just done the commission run, so this number's very low. But you click on the little red plus or minus sign to break out that payment. And there we've got the actual payment, and then that's broken down into the amount of commission paid on orders, and then underneath that we've got the SE bonus, sales efficiency bonus, and then one or two other bits and pieces under that, allowances, charges, and any VAT due. So if we go down the page a bit, let's just close that up and look down here. It's saying your RSE, your rolling sales efficiency, and this month is 267, last month 259. Specifically, that's saying your latest and previous month's rolling sales efficiency figure. And then just to the right of that is the corresponding level of additional commission which we're paying to you on all your orders under the bonus scheme. Okay, so how's that worked out? Well, if you look at the little red cross or plus sign next to SE bonus, if we click on that, what that will do is bring up a new sheet called your rolling sales efficiency. Okay, so on the right here we have got the last period end rolling sales efficiency, and that's what you're currently being paid on. In other words, your bonus incentive is based on that figure. To the right of that is the your latest rolling sales efficiency figure to the last weekend. So the difference there is that's the latest period end RSE, rolling sales efficiency. That's what your bonus scheme is currently based on. But the most recent number, up to the end of last week, is on the right there. And it's very, very similar. I mean, it doesn't stay the same. They move up and down. Okay. Below that then, we can see what the bonus levels are. What does that mean? Well, the last period end was 267, and that is paying 2% bonus incentive. But if the calculation was done today, it would be based on that figure, 264, and that happens to be in the same band, so you wouldn't change. Okay. Now then, a couple of numbers here. We're seeing that the rolling sales efficiency is valid for that period of time, 201110. All that means is 2011 period 10, or if you prefer month 10, so that will be October 2011. Okay, so how is RSE, rolling sales efficiency, calculated? Well, there's a full order breakdown. Here you can see a drop down box which you can just click on to open and shut, and what each of those lines represents are just the last few weeks. So that's to the end of week 45, week 44, week 43, week 42, 41, 40, and over here we can see the rolling sales efficiency at the end of each of those weeks. 257. By the end of the next week it had gone up a bit, it's gone up a bit again, down a bit, down a bit, down. It's just going up and down as the consultant works their leads and orders. It's moving up and down. But at the end of the most recent week, week 45 in 2011, it's at £264, and we can see that cross checks up here, £264. But the red plus sign to the right will explain how that is calculated. So let's have a look at that. If you click on the plus sign next to the drop down box, it tells us our latest week rolling sales efficiency. That's bang up to date, up to the end of last week. The time frame, so 2010 week 46 to 2011 week 45. It's based on a net sales figure which is £538,000. It's based on 1,226 leads, and get this, a condensed order volume of 736 orders. Now then, this consultant has actually delivered 778 orders, but we're going to take off returned orders, okay, and we're going to take off cancelled orders, and a cancellation is prior to the customer receiving their goods, whereas a return is a cancellation following delivery of goods. So that's the explanation there. But that last one, remove duplicate orders, what's that all about? Well, a duplicate order is that we're going to look back over the last 6 weeks to see if any other orders for the same customer have been placed, and if we find any orders and they're from the same product group type, then they'll only count once. However, the sales value will still be counted. So an example would be curtains. If you try and split curtain orders onto two order forms, they're from the same product group, which is curtains, so it'll only count once as far as your rolling RSE is calculated. And there is where we're showing how many of those types of orders have been found. Okay, so we get a condensed order volume of 736. The total orders were 778, less returned orders, less cancelled orders, less these duplicate orders, gives us a condensed order volume, and there it is. Okay. Moving on down the page then, you can track your performance over the last few months and see how you've moved around. Now the big coloured graphs here represent the different levels of bonus incentive. So we have a couple of consultants who will be up here. They're right up at the top level of bonus incentive, and more as you go down. Now this particular consultant is hovering around the 1.5 to 2% bonus incentive. That means on every order they're getting, now under the new scheme, they're getting a bonus commission of 1.5 to 2% on every single order. And the little circles there you can see show that where they've crossed a band. So if they've crossed from 2 to 1.5, it gives a little circle, and similarly if they go back up again. So you can see in your own performance for your own figures how you've been moving. It shows you your performance by week basically. Okay, the black line, just to clarify, is your rolling sales efficiency by week, and remember this is a 12-week rolling figure, so at the end of every week that week's numbers, orders and leads and so on come in, and the week 12 months ago drops off, so it's a moving picture. Okay, now if we go down a bit we can see the last 4 weeks at the end of last year that are due to drop off, and they had sales of 13,000, 4,000, 4,000, 5,000. And in here is the week that's just been coming in. She showed a sales figure of 9,000. So that figure is added in, that week's added in, week 45 this year. And at that same moment, week 46 last year will drop off, and you can see that week 46 last year she did 13,000 and only 9 coming in. So now we can see a projected rolling sales efficiency is dropping. We're projecting it might drop to 252. Her actual figure, remember, is 264, but we're thinking it might drop because her sales performance is dropped against the week that's fallen off the calculation at the end of last year. And it's only a guide, this, because of course in the next few weeks, as these drop off, you might have storming sales weeks, and so that projected rolling sales efficiency figure will shoot up and might go up to 280 or 290. Okay, so it's just a guide, but how that's shown on the graph is as a little projection which is either red or green. So an upwards projection will show in green and a downwards projection in red. Okay. So basically your calculations worked out by multiplying your latest week's orders, in this case 9,324, leads and net sales by 4 to give us a 4-week total, and that replaces the 4-week total from the tail end of your 12-month rolling period. But remember, it's just a projection, it's not actual. What it means for you, the consultant on the ground, is that if you can beat your figures that are about to drop off, your rolling sales efficiency will go up. And this is really important as you get towards the end of a period, when, remember, we calculate the band you're in. As you get towards the end of that period, really try and beat the performance of the week that's about to drop off, because that could be the crucial moment to get you into the next band, and that will pay you an extra commission incentive for the whole of the following month. So really important that you try and beat the figures dropping off. So hopefully that's helped, and if you have more questions here, I suggest you ring Carl Beasley and the training team and try and get into the habit of looking at your rolling sales efficiency. Are you moving up or down? Keep an eye on that graph. Am I on the way up? If it's falling sharply, what's the problem? Have I got too many leads? It's just something to be aware of. Okay.